It was a typical Tuesday afternoon at Miller's Mart, the bustling department store renowned for its wide aisles and tempting weekend deals. The store buzzed with activity as customers filled their carts with groceries, clothing, and household essentials. Children weaved between racks, tugging on their parents for toys and candy, while adults deliberated over sale signs. The scent of freshly popped popcorn from the snack bar mingled with the faint aroma of cleaning products from the nearby shelves. Maria Johnson, a single mother in her early 30s, stepped into the store with a quiet determination. Her floral dress fluttered slightly as the air-conditioned breeze greeted her. Maria's warm, natural smile masked the struggles she faced daily as she worked 2 jobs to make ends meet for her 2 young children, Maya and Jordan. Despite her financial constraints, she had always been resourceful, relying on coupons and sales to stretch her budget. With her modest purse slung over her shoulder and a coupon booklet in hand, Maria moved purposefully through the aisles. She carefully selected items: a box of cereal Maya loved, a package of socks for Jordan, and a few cleaning supplies. Each item represented a balancing act between necessity and affordability. Maria approached the checkout line after about 20 minutes of shopping, standing behind a young couple juggling a cart full of baby supplies. The cheerful cashier greeted her warmly. "Good afternoon. Did you find everything you were looking for today?" "Yes, thank you," Maria replied, her tone polite but tinged with exhaustion. She handed the cashier her items and, finally, the $10 off coupon she had saved for this very trip. As the cashier began scanning, the hum of activity around Maria seemed to fade, replaced by a sudden tension. Brad Carter, the store's manager, strode into view. His presence was commanding, but not in a welcoming way. He was tall, with sharp features that seemed permanently etched into a condescending smirk. Dressed in a tailored navy suit, he carried himself with an air of authority that bordered on arrogance. "Hello, family. Welcome back to Storytime with Solomon. To all our subscribers, I am so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. If you're new here, please do me a favor and subscribe for more amazing stories." Now, let's continue with today's story. Brad's gaze landed on Maria's modest basket and coupon, and his expression darkened. He approached the counter with purpose, his footsteps echoing ominously. "Is there a problem here?" Brad asked curtly, his voice cutting through the soft chatter of the surrounding shoppers. Maria glanced up, startled. "No, I don't think so," she said, a little confused. Brad grabbed the coupon from the cashier's hand and scrutinized it. "This coupon isn't valid," he announced, his voice louder than necessary. A few nearby customers turned their heads, sensing the beginning of a scene. Maria frowned. "It says valid for all purchases over $50. "I double-checked it before coming here," she said calmly. Brad smirked. "Ma'am, people like you always try to exploit the system," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. "This is clearly meant for premium members." Maria froze. "People like you?" The words stung, though she maintained her composure. "I'm not exploiting anything," she said, her tone steady despite the growing humiliation. "I just want to use a coupon that I'm eligible for." Brad's lips curled into a condescending smile as he crossed his arms. "Well, you can't," he said. "Either pay full price or put the items back. You're holding up the line." The cheerful cashier hesitated, then spoke in a low voice. "Sir, it's valid. I can process it." Brad shot the cashier a sharp look. "I make the decisions here," he snapped. Maria felt her cheeks flush as whispers began to ripple through the line. Customers were craning their necks, murmuring among themselves. Her hands shook as she reached for the items to return them, feeling both embarrassed and defeated. "Excuse me, what's going on here?" The voice was calm yet authoritative, cutting through the tension like a knife. Everyone turned to see a tall man stepping forward, her posture exuding quiet confidence. He was dressed in a tailored blazer and slacks, his dark hair pulled into a sleek bun. His name tag read Daniel Miller. Brad stiffened, his smug demeanor faltering. "Mr. Miller," he began, his voice faltering slightly. "This customer is trying to use an invalid coupon." Daniel raised a hand to silence him and took the coupon from Maria's hand. He examined it carefully, then glanced at Maria. "This coupon is perfectly valid," he said firmly, handing it back. "Why would you assume otherwise?" Brad stammered. I just thought." Daniel's expression hardened. "What you thought," he said icily, "was that you could demean a customer based on your own biases. That ends now." Turning to Maria, Daniel placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "I'm so sorry for the way you've been treated," he said gently. "Your items today are on us. Please accept our deepest apologies." The line of customers erupted into applause. Someone muttered, "It's about time," while others pulled out their phones to record the scene. Daniel wasn't finished. He turned to Brad, who now looked visibly nervous. "Your behavior is unacceptable and does not align with the values of this company," she said. "You're fired. Effective immediately." Brad gaped at him, his arrogance replaced by disbelief. "You can't be serious." "I'm very serious," Daniel replied coldly. "You violated company policy and, more importantly, basic human decency. Security will escort you out." As Brad was led away, the crowd burst into cheers. Customers clapped and waved, their faces lit with satisfaction. Maria, overwhelmed, thanked Daniel, her voice trembling with emotion. "It's the least we can do," Daniel said warmly. "And I promise this will never happen again. We'll be rolling out additional training to ensure every customer feels valued." By the time Maria returned home, the incident had already gone viral. Videos of the confrontation were trending under hashtags like #RespectEveryCustomer and #MillerMartValues. People across the country praised Daniel's swift action, and the company's official social media accounts issued a formal apology. Maria's courage in standing her ground became a rallying cry for dignity and respect. Prominent figures weighed in, highlighting the story as an example of combating systemic bias and ensuring equity in all spaces. Meanwhile, Brad faced the consequences of his actions. As the internet dug into his past, allegations of similar behavior surfaced. Attempts to defend himself only worsened his situation. For Maria, the experience was bittersweet. Though it began with humiliation, it ended with vindication, and sparked a national conversation about kindness, fairness, and respect. Through it all, one truth stood clear: no matter how small the moment, standing up for what's right has the power to create lasting change. And that brings us to the end of today's story. Thank you so much for tuning in until the end. I'm Solomon, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, when I post more interesting stories, you'll be the first to know. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Catch you all in my next video. Bye.